My name's John R. Mullaney and I'm an illustrator and I've worked for Star Wars, Halo, Universal, Serenity, Firefly, loads of others. Well, I had a very creative childhood, lots of drawing, model making, Lego. I got very into science fiction, so I was always drawing spaceships on the back of my textbooks. And into my teens, my art teachers really recognised that I had an ability to do architectural drawing. So I kept that going throughout my sort of teenage years through A-level, and then did an art degree with literature and also cinema studies. And when I graduated, I went freelance as an architectural illustrator. And alongside that, I was doing, I was looking to still get into the film industry. I was thinking maybe as a concept artist or production designer. And so I actually found myself working on the set of Teletubbies as a storyboard artist and member of the art department. And I came back from that, the summer of '99, very unusual summer in Teletubby land. And there was this voicemail on my answer machine, old style answer machine. And it was from Dorling Kindersley, who published the Star Wars Incredible Cross-Section series. And I'd been referred to them by an organisation I'd joined called the Society of Architectural Illustration, the SAI. And they'd recommended me because the DK were looking for additional illustrators for the series. So it seemed. It seemed too good to be true because all my friends knew that I was mad into these books because for me it was a perfect combination of you know, technical drawing, architectural drawing with science fiction, Star Wars, so it was a real sweet spot. So to get this voicemail just seemed too good to be true, but it turned out to be legit, it was for real, and they said, well, can you submit an audition piece? So I did. And they said, well, you've just copied that, can you do your own cutaway artwork? And it took me 3 attempts, and I had to sort of forensically study the masterful work of Hans Jensen and Richard Chasemore, who illustrated the first book. By audition piece 4, persevered, and they said, you've got the job. And I did, my first artwork was the Great Temple, the rebel base, Yavin 4 from the end of the original film. That kind of launched the rest of my career, really, and I've been doing work for Star Wars ever since. I'll typically be approached by a publisher on behalf of the studio. So in the case of Star Wars, it'll be Dorling Kindersley with Lucasfilm. They will basically say, right, we're doing this book and we need this vehicle, we need a cutaway artwork of it. So that's been the case for Star Wars, for Alien, for Halo. But there are instances as well where I'll initiate a project, and actually the first piece I did for Alien was off my own back, because that's my most beloved franchise personally, so I was desperate to do a cutaway artwork of that, of the dropship. In the case of Serenity, that was a project that I instigated, in that like so many people, I just fell in love with Firefly, and at that point I'd done several pieces for Star Wars, and I just thought that's ripe for the cutaway treatment. So I was then introduced to to QMX, who were who held the license with Universal to produce collectibles for Firefly and Serenity. I worked predominantly in using traditional media, so my preliminaries are pencil, and then the first, the basis of the artwork themselves is a more detailed pencil, and then it's ink, and then multiple layers of watercolour, and then a bit of gouache for highlights, and a bit more pen work, and then I'll finish the artwork off in Photoshop, but I like to, you know, emulate the filmmakers I admire, who like to get as much of the shot in camera as possible. Likewise, I like to get as much of it done on paper, and then yeah, just a final little touch up in Photoshop, but I just love working with traditional media as much as possible. I think little 8-year-old me would be pretty blown away, and he'd be really chuffed to know that, yeah, all the doodling spaceships on the back of textbooks paid off, you know. So yeah, I think he'd be pretty blown away.